One great man means a great family, a great neighborhood, a better city, community, state, and the world. The question is, if not you, then who? When we were first discussing this episode, one of the statistics that we were talking about is that we've heard this before. Marriage, 50% of marriages end in divorce, and so this is almost a widely accepted fact. But the truth of the matter is that the statistic is not totally accurate. 50% of first marriages end in divorce. Your second marriage, it jumps up to about 65%. Third marriages and beyond, you're looking 65 to 70%. And so the data that you can pull from this is that you actually have a less likely chance of a successful marriage if you do it again. And so this episode is really designed for those people that are maybe facing separation or are stepping into the dating field, specifically so you know what to avoid, how to really seek out an ideal partner based on core values, and lead in the home in such a way so that you're not repeating the same mistake over and over again.
I love that. We recently talked about attitude and effort. If you haven't seen this podcast, go back and listen to it. But we talked about when you're on flight, when you have vision in your life and you're attempting to go from point A to point B, the attitude and the effort that helps you get there, that there really is no true opportunity for a man to decide, man, this isn't working out for me. This is harder than I thought it would be. The headwind is stronger than I thought it might be. And men will decide to literally abandon ship.
Pull the
ripcord, attempt to abandon ship, think I've got a pack on, I can parachute out of this, maybe starting over is the best choice for me. Yet the statistics say that by sticking it out and figuring it out together, that your chances of not only satisfaction, but your chances of your relationship making it are much higher if you're willing to do the work. Yeah. And so that's what we have to realize today, is that starting over isn't really as bright and green and sunny as most men think it is.
No.
So regardless of your circumstance, your relational situation now, if you're in a relationship, sticking it out, figuring it out, gives you a higher chance, based on research, to get to the finish line, to have a satisfactory relationship, to be respected in your home, to be the leader that you're called to be. And so that's what men want. We have a need to be respected. You have a need to be respected, and this is how you do it. It's not by quitting and starting over. It's by taking what you have, making the best of it, figuring it out, getting around people that understand what to do, and utilizing the templates and putting them to work.
So good, so good. There's that adage, the grass is always greener on the other side, but the truth of the matter, the grass is greener where you water it. And so your next relationship isn't going to be better if you're not making yourself better in your current relationship. That's the training ground for it. So You've got an equation, Josh, and I think this is a great place to start off in this conversation, but X plus Y equals Z. And so when we think about a relationship dynamic, your X and your Y creating the result that you're looking for, drop into that a little bit.
Yeah, so men, generally speaking, are logic thinkers. And so it's easy for us to conceptualize the principle of X plus Y equals Z. This literally works in every area of our life. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And so X plus Y equals Z is X and Y are what we represent in our relationships. Going back to our chromosomes, my wife is an XX, I'm an XY. But together, as my wife and I create a home and a relationship in our marriage, the Z at the end is the outcome that we get from that equation. So my wife is in control of her XY. I'm in control of my XX, and together we have this outcome, this same team feeling within our household we call the Lashuas. And so what we have to realize as men is that your relationship circumstance, right now, if it's rough, if it's difficult, if you feel like you got a strong headwind, your relationship circumstance right now is being held captive by your beliefs. By your beliefs. So what we have to do is we have to dig deep into what we currently believe. We all live by a model of templates, whether we realize it or not. Typically by default, men just live. You're still living out templates, but are there templates that work? X plus Y equals Z. Control what you can control, your attitude and your effort. If we represent the Y, Aaron, and whoever else represents the X, whether it's a business partner, whether it's another man in our life, whether it's our spouse that represents the X, we control the Y. So if Y changes in the XY scenario, Z always changes. So if Y is getting better all the time, then regardless of who X is or what X brings to the table, X plus Y equals Z. As you get better, your outcome will get better. The Z will get better.
Yes. There's this book that we read in our men's group, our Men Alike group recently, G.S. Youngblood, masculine and relationships.
Yes.
And he says, if you don't change, if the man doesn't change, nothing changes. So you might think that by starting over, the grass is greener, second marriage, second relationship, quitting, pulling the ripcord, and just like searching for something new, you might think that it's going to get better. But the truth of the matter is, you are the driver in that relationship. Every relationship that you're in, you are bringing your core values, your beliefs, your habits, your actions, and if you don't improve, nothing will improve.
Nothing improves. You have a better chance of losing altitude because you're not changing.
So good, so good.